Greetings, shinobi and scholars of the digital realm. This is Six Path Weeb, transmitting across the hidden networks of fandom to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today, we embark on an immersive narrative experience, Chronicles of Naruko, a reimagined journey through the shinobi world, where destiny takes an unexpected turn. Disclaimer: all content featured here is purely for entertainment and discussion. I do not claim ownership of any anime footage presented. Full rights and credit belong to their original creators and rightful copyright holders. So plug in, power up, and prepare yourselves. Let the story unfold. Let's begin. Ramen. 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 Iruka chuckled warmly, eyes closing in amusement as he affectionately ruffled little Naruko's golden hair. Naruko, you really ought to be more mindful of your diet. Too much of anything can cause trouble down the line. The newly promoted Jinan gave a carefree wave of her hand and continued devouring her ramen as if it were a race against time. Iruka was convinced she might try to eat the bowl too, almost. After finishing one bowl, Naruko grinned mischievously and winked at her teacher. You say that all the time, Iruka-sensei, but today, you sound different. Who are you really? Iruka waved his hands nervously. Come on, Naruko, it's me. Don't be silly. Naruko narrowed her eyes with suspicion, then smirked. I'm a Jinan now. You can't trick a Leaf Village ninja that easily. Release your transformation jutsu. The supposed Iruka sighed. Honestly, not even a high-ranking ninja would see through this technique. But I'm trying to mimic the person you know best. I guess that makes it harder to deceive you. Behind the counter, Tucci, the kind-hearted owner of the ramen shop, had his back turned, focused on the bubbling pots. When he finally turned around, he was baffled to see the booth empty. Huh? Iruka too? You both better pay me back next time you stop by, he shouted, scratching his head in disbelief. Ayame. Where did they go? Dash. Where are we? Who are you? What's going on? Calm down, the mysterious figure muttered while gently leading Naruko forward. Relax. I'm on your side. Naruko yanked her arm away, her azure eyes narrowing. Why should I believe you? The stranger smiled faintly. Fair question, Naruko. With that, his appearance began to shift. Iruka's features dissolved, replaced by someone else entirely, a tall figure in a black cloak adorned with dark crimson patterns, radiating a presence both familiar and formidable. What? Standing before her was someone who bore an uncanny resemblance to her hero, the fourth Hokage. I'm you, Naruko. About 30 years into the future. A little more, maybe. I've come here to give you a warning, though I wasn't supposed to. Me? You're me? That's ridiculous. I have comrades? No way. You're lying. You can't be me. Who do you think you're fooling? The one and only Uzumaki Naruko? Dream on, imposter. The younger girl declared, pointing dramatically at her older self. The older figure chuckled softly. Yeah, I probably would have reacted the same way at your age. But hear me out. I brought you into my time using a technique no one else has ever used successfully. I'm the current Uzukage, the leader of the Whirlpool country. I'm 48 years old, but I still look like I'm in my early 20s. Uzukage? What does that even mean? Naruko frowned. It means I lead the hidden Whirlpool village. But that's not what matters right now. Naruko crossed her arms defiantly. Well, that proves it. If you were really me, you'd be Hokage, the protector of Konoha. You're a fake. You don't have to believe me, Naruko, the older version said, brushing away her pointing finger gently. You just have to listen. I'm here to train you, to help you grow stronger so you can make a difference. The real challenges begin when the spirit inside you, Kurama, is no longer shielding you like before. Naruko's eyes widened. You know about Kurama? The older Naruko nodded. I told you. I'm you, just older. I've mastered many things most ninja can't even imagine. Time travel is one of them. You can say all that, but I'm calling you fake Naruko. There's only one Naruko-sama, she said confidently, pointing to herself. You can try to act like me, but you'll never be the real deal. The Uzukage smiled knowingly. Fair enough. I suppose I'm not you, not anymore. But you will become me. I simply was you. Let me prove it, then. You only have 3 orange jumpsuits, which you rotate and wash daily. You've got a major crush on Haruno Sakura, though you pretend you don't. You pretend not to care, but deep down, you're longing for real friendships. I also know what happened the other night, when Mizuki tricked you, how Iruka-sensei protected you. Naruko's confident expression faltered. I know what's been happening every night since then. She took a step back. No. You can't. I can, the older Naruko said gently. It's a side effect of the seal, the Shiki-Fun. Every night, your chakra clashes with Kurama's and the residual seal energy. The pain you feel is from that conflict. I created a sealing formula to help ease that struggle. Naruko blinked, still confused. I don't get it. Why me? You're special. That's why I brought you here. To train you for 4 months. When we're done, I'll return you to the exact moment your Jinan team exam begins, so no time will be lost. 4 months? That's forever. I just got my headband. I promise, you won't miss a thing. You'll return ready, stronger than ever. Starting today, we train. First stop, Mount Mayaboku. 4 months later. Namikaze-sensei. Why are you leading Whirlpool, and not the Hidden Leaf? The older Naruko hesitated, looking downward. Because the leaf was lost. That's what I'm trying to prevent. That's why I brought you here. So that doesn't have to happen. The younger Naruko gazed at her hands thoughtfully, then clenched them into fists. I promise. I'll do everything I can to protect everyone. I'll make the future better. She smiled, hopeful and determined. With these hands, I'll bring peace. Back in the present. Now then. I have 2 bells with me. Your task is simple, capture one of these bells. If you succeed, you'll be promoted to Jinan immediately. The test ends at sunset. If you don't have a bell by then, you'll return to the academy and can try again next year. Understood? But there are only 2 bells, sensei, exclaimed the pink-haired 13-year-old Jinan, Haruno Sakura. Kakashi tilted his head and gave a playful smile from beneath his mask. That's correct. Very observant, Sakura. The quiet Uchiha standing beside her scoffed softly. So one of us will fail no matter what? Well, it certainly won't be me, Sasuke thought confidently as he quickly took cover in the nearby foliage. Sakura followed his lead, while Naruko remained behind, a thoughtful frown on her face as she looked at their enigmatic instructor. I really wish my future self had told me more about this test. Guess I'll have to figure it out as I go, Naruko thought silently. You seem a bit off today, Uzumaki Naruko, Kakashi observed, his lone visible eye narrowing slightly. The only thing that's off is your hairstyle, sensei. Naruko replied with a half-hearted grin. I can't reveal too much. Maybe it's best I just observe for now until I know how to deal with this strange guy. Kakashi blinked in mild surprise as he watched Naruko disappear into hiding. Interesting. I expected her to charge in recklessly. Maybe she's more composed than the Hokage described. And her outfit. It's unique. His gaze sharpened suddenly. Wait. I can't sense Naruko at all. Sasuke and Sakura are easy to detect, but Naruko? That's unusual. No matter, I'll just track her another way. With that, Kakashi enhanced his senses and began searching for her presence using chakra sensitivity and scent detection. Ah, there she is. Feigning nonchalance, he casually retrieved a small book from his pocket and began reading. If you don't come at me with serious intent, he announced aloud, you won't get these bells. Far away from where Kakashi stood, Naruko wasn't concentrating on the bells, but rather on the cryptic warnings her future self had left behind. Certain things she had seen worried her deeply, but she had made a vow to ensure none of those things would ever happen again. She had returned from the future only 3 hours ago. In her mind echoed the final words of her future self, time travel takes its toll. Even space has its limits. I'll find a way to stabilize it. I'll perfect everything, Naruko resolved. No matter what it takes. Refocusing on her current objective, she crept closer to Kakashi's location, only to notice Sasuke partially buried in the ground, his head poking out. Well, that's a sight you don't see every day, she chuckled quietly to herself. Suddenly, a distant scream rang out. Without hesitation, Naruko sprinted toward the sound. That sounded like Sakura. Meanwhile, Kakashi, watching from afar, blinked again in surprise. That speed. Hokage-sama never mentioned she was this fast. Naruko landed softly near an unconscious Sakura and let out a breath of relief. No harm has come to her. Good. She examined Sakura carefully. It's genjutsu, isn't it? She murmured. Before she could assess further, she sensed someone behind her. Kakashi-sensei? Quick question, he said with a calm tone. How did you know she was under genjutsu? Lucky guess? Naruko replied awkwardly. Lesson 3, Taijutsu, Kakashi announced, and with a swift movement, knocked Naruko back with a well-placed strike. She quickly recovered and leapt to her feet, scanning for her opponent, only to find he had already vanished. Good recovery, Naruko. You're not bad, his voice echoed from the trees. She's definitely better than expected. I could try to get a bell by defeating him, but future me said I'd end up working with Sasuke and Sakura. Besides, I doubt I can beat Kakashi without using more advanced techniques, she thought, disappearing into the trees again. From his perch above, Kakashi observed quietly. She's hiding again. Not what I expected. If anyone was easily provoked, it would have been her. What's changed? Elsewhere, Sasuke finally pulled himself free from the ground. That was humiliating. He glanced around. Sakura and Naruko haven't done much yet. Guess it's up to me to finish this. Awake again, Sasuke? Kakashi's lazy voice called out. I almost forgot about you. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Sasuke launched his technique, but Kakashi effortlessly sidestepped. Sasuke panted from exertion. Out of chakra already? You used too much power for an attack that was likely to miss. A better strategy would be a diversion, Kakashi advised. Just watch, Sasuke muttered, preparing more hand signs. In an instant, Kakashi appeared behind him and immobilized his hand. That would have been game over. You have the drive, but you need better control. Hey, sensei. Let him go. Kakashi turned his head slightly to see 5 identical Narukos rushing in. Shadow clones? Impressive. But this won't work. In one smooth motion, he dispelled all 5 clones. But as he did, a wave of shuriken and kunai flew at him. That wasn't bad. I didn't expect her to set up a secondary trap with concealed projectiles. After avoiding the attacks, Kakashi frowned. Still can't sense her. Only her scent. This level of stealth is remarkable for someone so young. Not far away, Sakura stirred. Where? Am I? We're still at the training grounds. Not sure which one exactly, Naruko answered from a nearby tree. I'm not sure what to do next. Kakashi-sensei is way above our level. Where's Sasuke? Sakura demanded, ignoring Naruko. Naruko pointed calmly. He's over there, but he's exhausted. Out of chakra. Don't be ridiculous. Sasuke can always do something. He's the top student, Sakura snapped and took off toward him. Right. Okay then, Naruko muttered, scratching her head. I didn't realize how little chakra Sakura actually has. Welcome back, Sakura. Enjoy your nap? Kakashi asked, flipping a page in his book. Sasuke was still struggling to catch his breath. You think she can do better than me? Sasuke muttered, agitated. No one has more determination than Sasuke-kun, Sakura yelled defensively. I suppose I don't need to put the book down for this, Kakashi said plainly. Come on then, Sakura. She rushed forward, unprepared and without a plan. So careless. No weapon, no chakra buildup, no hand signs. Kakashi vanished again, just in time for her to stumble into Sasuke. Sasuke-kun. I didn't mean to. Get off, Sasuke snapped, brushing her aside. You're not helping. Sasuke team. The two turned to see Naruko behind them. You don't look too great. Be quiet. I haven't seen you try anything yet. Sasuke barked. Naruko just shrugged. I will. Eventually. As if you could succeed where Sasuke-kun couldn't. Kakashi watched the trio silently. They're an unusual team. But oddly balanced. Then suddenly, his eye widened in disbelief. What? When did she? Naruko stood confidently beside him, her hand holding 2 jingling bells. You said anything goes, right? You were too focused on them to notice me slip in. Impossible. I didn't sense her at all. She raised the bells with a smile. Guess that makes me a Genin now. And I've decided, this other bell is for both Sakura and Sasuke. We're a team, whether the test says so or not. Sakura and Sasuke stood frozen, stunned into silence as they stared at the bells in Naruko's hand. Hokage-sama. The elderly leader shifted his focus from the paperwork on his desk to the former Anbu captain before him. What is it, Kakashi? I have completed the report from my Genin team examination. Haruno Sakura, Uzumaki Naruko, and Uchiha Sasuke have all passed. Within the hour, Kakashi said, a faint tone of uncertainty in his voice. Something unusual occurred. Unfortunately, I didn't have my Sharingan active, so I cannot explain exactly what transpired. Go on, Kakashi. I can sense this has left you uneasy, the third Hokage said as he stood from his chair. This must be significant. Kakashi offered a brief bow before continuing. Sakura performed slightly below average but shows strong potential with the right guidance. Sasuke already surpasses the typical Jonin level, although he would benefit from a firmer grounding in teamwork. As for Uzumaki Naruko, she has demonstrated exceptional capability, more so than the others. The third Hokage chuckled lightly. Exceptional, is it? So you're saying she outshone them both? Kakashi nodded slowly. Hokage-sama, Naruko is far more capable than I had anticipated. Indeed, the elderly leader smiled. She consistently exceeds expectations. That's just her nature, always full of surprises. Kakashi hesitated, then sighed. Understood, Hokage-sama. If nothing else, I suspect this team will prove to be an interesting one to mentor. Kurenai-sensei? Who is Kurenai-sensei anyway? Naruko murmured as she wandered the village streets. Namikaze-sensei told me to find her, but couldn't he at least describe what she looks like? Hey, Naruko, what are you doing out here this late? Naruko looked up and saw Shikamaru with an older man at his side. Shikamaru? Yeah, the Nara heir replied lazily. This is my dad. He's had a bit too much to drink. My mom made me drag him home. Nearly lost my hearing in the process, he muttered, rubbing his ear. So, what's got you out here? Huh? Oh, right. Naruko perked up. I'm trying to find someone named Kurenai-sensei. Ever heard of her? Shikamaru shook his head. Name sounds familiar, but I don't know her personally. You're looking for Kurenai? Shikaku slurred. Hey, the most graceful kunoichi in Konoha? You said mom was the most graceful, Shikamaru countered quickly. I say that when she's nearby, son, Shikaku replied with a chuckle. Anyway, if you're looking for Kurenai, you might find her at the training grounds. I heard she's mentoring a new Jonin team. Ah, yeah, Shikamaru added. She's teaching Kiba, Hinata, and Shino this year. Hinata and Shino? Naruko blinked. They're so quiet, I didn't even realize they were on the same team. Right. And you never pay attention, Shikamaru sighed. Good luck, Naruko. As Shikamaru dragged his father away, Naruko watched them go. Shikamaru's always been a bit mysterious. What's wrong, Hinata? Kurenai asked gently. Someone is coming this way, Kurenai-sensei, Hinata replied softly, her Byakugan active. But they don't seem to be emitting any chakra. My insects tell me. The person is confused? Kurenai furrowed her brow, attempting to detect a chakra signature nearby. There was none. Can you see the person, Hinata? Why yes, the Hyuga girl nodded, her eyes wide. I can smell her, Kiba said suddenly. It's Naruko. I can tell from her scent. Interesting, Shino murmured. My insects were always agitated when Naruko was nearby. But now, they're calm. As if. There is no chakra at all. Very strange. Kiba shrugged. She never had much chakra to begin with. Maybe this is just more of the same. Kurenai shook her head. That's not how it works. To have no chakra signature at all either means you are incredibly skilled. Or something highly unusual is going on. Shino nodded quietly. I understand. She's. Calling your name, Kurenai-sensei, Hinata stammered, her blush deepening. Odd. I don't recall ever speaking with Uzumaki Naruko. Are you certain she's not trying to find one of you? Kiba scoffed. She doesn't really have anyone. She's always trying to talk to people, but most just brush her off. Kiba. Kurenai gave him a firm look. There's no honor in mocking someone for being isolated. Before anyone could say another word, Naruko appeared behind Hinata, who quickly turned around to find the blonde smiling at her. Hey, Hinata. Can you help me find Kurenai-sensei? Kurenai's eyes narrowed in thought. Still no chakra. But that speed was remarkable. Her eyes dropped to the Jonin's outfit, completely black with a symbol on the belt. Uzumaki? I'm Yuhi Kurenai. You must be Uzumaki Naruko. How can I help you? Naruko bowed respectfully. I'd like to train in genjutsu defense, ma'am. It's my biggest weakness. Kurenai blinked in surprise, touched by the sincere gesture. That's quite honest of you, she said warmly. But unfortunately, I already have a team. And if I'm correct, Kakashi is your assigned instructor. He's more than capable. Naruko shook her head. But you're known to be the best in genjutsu. Please help me. Kurenai smiled gently but remained firm. Even if that's true, I cannot assist you right now. Hey! Back off, Naruko. Kiba barked. She's our sensei. Naruko glanced at him but said nothing, her attention turning back to Kurenai with a faint look of disappointment. I understand. She spoke calmly and turned away. Dash. Why is she afraid of you? Sasuke asked as they stood near a trembling cat. I'm not sure, Naruko replied thoughtfully. Kakashi, the cat is secured, Sasuke said simply. Naruko stepped back while Sakura picked the feline up. Let's return, she said. Dash. Naruko sat perched on a tree branch, chuckling softly as she flipped through a book. Below, Sasuke pretended to nap as Sakura tried to engage him in conversation. Naruko, Kakashi called from above, aren't you a little young for that kind of book? Naruko snapped it shut with a grin. I don't have any parents to say otherwise, Kakashi-sensei. Still, that doesn't mean you can do as you please, he replied calmly as he greeted the team. Let's get going. We have a mission today. As they walked through the village, Naruko mentally reviewed the techniques she knew and the warnings her future self had given her. No elemental techniques unless necessary. No advanced chakra forms. Only use Kage Bunshine. No trump cards unless it's absolutely essential. Dash. You're ready for something more advanced, Kakashi. I believe a C-rank mission is suitable, the Hokage said. Naruko's eyes lit up. Really, Hokage-sama? Naruko. Be respectful. Iruka interjected from beside the Hokage. Ah, sorry, Iruka-sensei. Naruko bowed quickly. But that's amazing. Sasuke gave a rare smirk. Finally, something more meaningful. Are we ready for this? Sakura wondered silently. The task is straightforward, escort a bridge builder to the land of waves. Nothing too demanding. With your skills, I believe the client is in good hands, the Hokage smiled. As the team turned to leave, Naruko stepped forward. Kakashi-sensei, go on ahead. I need to ask the Hokage something. Naruko. Mind your manners, Iruka snapped again, shaking his head. You're as energetic as ever. The Hokage chuckled. What can I do for you, Naruko? I need help with genjutsu. I already asked Kurenai-sensei, but she's unavailable. I don't know who else to turn to. She bowed again. Please. I want to improve. I'm surprised you even know of Kurenai's genjutsu proficiency, the third admitted. Even more surprised that you're pursuing this. To be candid, you aren't naturally suited to genjutsu. Exactly. Naruko raised her head. That's why I need to learn how to counter it. The Hokage's eyes twinkled. You're unusually insightful today. Very well, there are a few others in the village who specialize in genjutsu. Besides Kurenai, there's Mitarashi Anko and Uzuki Uegao. Both are extremely capable. Naruko's face brightened. But, the Hokage added with a firm voice, they are quite busy. I'll speak with them myself. Do not go searching for them. Understood? Naruko stood up straight and nodded. Understood. Listen carefully, Naruko. There are individuals in the world who may not hesitate to hurt you or those you care about. I want you to be prepared for situations like that. Never let your guard down, always stay alert. You must protect yourself and those you love. Please understand. I made mistakes by letting certain adversaries go, and I deeply regret those decisions. I don't want you to experience the same outcomes. Naruko's expression grew resolute as she followed her mentor, the bridge builder Tazuna, and her teammates out of the Hidden Leaf village. Don't worry, Namikaze-sensei. I won't let you down. Dash. Fuuten, Rasen Shuriken no Jutsu. Whoa, she whispered in awe, watching her future self execute a stunning and extraordinary wind release technique. As the energy of the technique dispersed, the older version of Naruko turned and smiled with encouragement. This is actually one of my least advanced wind techniques. There's so much more to come, so get ready. Oh yeah, Naruko exclaimed joyfully, standing alongside her future self in a massive chamber the size of half of Konoha. Dash. So if time travel is possible, why not go back and stop those responsible before they cause trouble? It's not that simple, the older Naruko responded thoughtfully. Some of the individuals involved didn't even realize the consequences of their actions. A few were manipulated or pressured into things they didn't want to do. Even kind people can make poor choices when they're afraid or unsure. There's even a possibility that someone beyond my own awareness orchestrated parts of it. She paused, then lowered her voice. Let me give you a few names, Naruko. The younger blonde nodded attentively. Uchiha Madara. He may try to use someone dear to you as leverage. He's after something he cannot achieve on his own due to a lack of chakra. I know this might sound confusing now, so I've documented everything in a secure scroll that only you can read. It's hidden from everyone, even those related by blood. Not that we have any left. Naruko frowned thoughtfully. She didn't fully grasp what was being said, but she appreciated that it was all written down for future reference. Uchiha Sasuke. He's someone who's been guided in the wrong direction by those around him. He needs support, someone to steer him back to the right path. You'll understand more once you really get to know him. Sasuke? He's even a big deal in your timeline? Seriously? Naruko pouted in disbelief. There are more names, but those two are particularly important. Be cautious when you encounter Uchiha Madara for the first time. He'll be wearing an orange mask. Don't confront him without preparation. More importantly, understand this, while bonds give us strength, there will always be those who try to harm your friends just to get to you. He paused. It may make you hesitant to form close bonds, but friendships are the source of true strength. With the trust and belief of your friends, you'll find power far greater than any technique. Naruko nodded slowly. Now memorize these names. These individuals can become allies if you approach them wisely. As Naruko stood beside her mentor watching a remarkable demonstration of a new technique, a Toad Elder mused, the chakra levels she's displaying are unbelievable. This will surely surprise even Ma. Yukon, Teitru no Yuma. Where a great mountain once stood, there now remained only scattered boulders. The younger Naruko landed on her side in shock, stunned by the power of the move named Demonic Tail Whip. Understand, Naruko, the older version explained, there are two main combat styles, Ninpa and Kenpu. Most shinobi rely on Ninpa, but Kenpu holds dozens of complex techniques. And the Yukon techniques. They are exclusive to Jinchuriki like us. Naruko's eyes sparkled with awe. Let me show you the next. Yukon, Mochur no Yuma. Back to present day. These Yukon and Matone techniques are so difficult. Naruko grumbled internally, walking behind Sakura and Tazuna at the rear. Sensei said not to use those supplements until I meet someone named Senju Tsunade. I need to ask the Hokage who that is once we get back. I really want to continue Sensei's training. Well, at least I've unlocked Aigu Kaiki. Even though I forgot the names of the other three techniques. She mused with a sigh. Are we there yet? Naruko blurted out, breaking the silence. Sakura turned around abruptly, clearly annoyed. Quiet down, Naruko. Just keep walking like you were. Naruko pouted for a moment, but suddenly her instincts flared. Something's not right. Right in front of her, their instructor seemed to vanish in an instant. Wait, did he use a substitution technique? She thought. That makes sense. I could actually see that happening. Huh. He wasn't even that fast. Namikaze-sensei definitely would have warned me if something serious was going to happen to Kakashi-sensei. Right? Pay attention, Naruko, Sakura shouted. Oops. Naruko leapt backward as an enemy missed her by a wide margin. Meanwhile, Sasuke had pinned a chain to a tree with a kunai and stood protectively in front of Sakura and Tazuna. The attackers were wielding chains and claw-like weapons tipped with a strange substance. Thereafter Sakura and Tazuna, Naruko noted, rushing in with speed she hadn't used before. She accidentally collided with Kakashi just as he was about to intercept the threat, and all four of them tumbled to the ground. Kakashi quickly regained control and restrained the attackers. It's over. Naruko scratched her head. Sorry, Sensei. An hour later, Team 7 received more information from Tazuna about the true mission. A wealthy individual named Gato was trying to stop the bridge from being built. Sensei. Can you teach me any wind techniques? Naruko asked excitedly. Wind release? Kakashi thought. Why is she asking about that? He also recalled how swiftly she had reacted earlier. Something's different about her. Could this be due to the Nine Tails? Or is she adapting somehow? I'm sorry, Naruko. I don't know any wind techniques, Kakashi replied calmly. But I will be teaching you something very interesting. Then, suddenly, his tone shifted. Everyone, duck. I'm sorry, Naruko. For you to witness this, Kakashi whispered. Namikaze-sensei. I thought I could manage 4. But apparently, my limit was 3. A cool voice echoed through the mist. Hatake Kakashi, the copy ninja known for wielding 1,000 techniques. Let's see how true that is. Kakashi ensured his students and Tazuna were safe before facing his opponent. Ah, Momochi Zabuza. What an interesting surprise. Naruko's memory sparked. Remember these names well, Naruko? Her future self had told her. Let's see. The liver, the stomach, the hia. Zabuza. Who interrupts me? Zabuza growled, glaring at Naruko. You child, you'll be the first. Where is Haku? Zabuza froze, startled. This girl. She knows Haku? A Jinan from Konoha knows that name? Stay back. Kakashi warned as he activated his Sharingan. Momochi Zabuza and Haku. They were supposed to become allies. I shouldn't have said anything. Naruko realized. Time to stop pretending, she whispered. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Shadow clones materialized instantly and surrounded her teammates and Tazuna. What is she doing now? Sasuke murmured as the clones began forming seals. Kenpu, Fuuinjutsu, Shishiinjin. A glowing violet barrier surrounded the group. Don't touch it. Naruko warned. It burns anything that tries to go through. Kakashi appeared beside her. Listen to her, everyone. That barrier is serious. Then he looked at Naruko. We'll talk later about how you know this technique. I'm here to assist, Kakashi-sensei, Naruko said confidently. No. It's too risky. Zabuza is a high-level shinobi. Let me handle this. Naruko nodded reluctantly as Kakashi re-engaged in battle. That barrier is strong. It'll keep them completely safe, Kakashi thought as he exchanged blows with Zabuza. Still, Naruko, the one who always seemed behind, performed a sealing technique flawlessly? That's incredibly advanced. Even I can't do that one properly. The fight moved near a large pool of water. Kakashi, caught off guard, was launched into the water by a powerful kick from Zabuza. This water. This technique. Suten, Suro no Jutsu. Kakashi was snapped out of his focus as Zabuza completed his water-style technique, encasing him in a seamless aquatic prison. Well. The famed Hatake Kakashi, caught in such a rudimentary move, Zabuza mused smugly, how unfortunate. Now then, the only way to dispel that barrier is to eliminate one of your students. Not so simple, is it? His tone was taunting as he advanced. Before Naruko could react, a strike appeared to land from behind. But the clone dissolved in a puff of mist, merely a shadow clone. Persistent, aren't we? The water clone muttered, a bit irked. Interesting, Kakashi. Seems at least one of your students is more capable than expected, the real Zabuza acknowledged. Let's see how she handles this. 10 identical water clones surrounded Naruko. Hey! Try this, Kenpu, Rengukan, Kasui no Jutsu. To everyone's surprise, all 10 of Zabuza's clones disintegrated as if evaporated into the air. What just happened? Zabuza frowned in confusion, narrowing his eyes. What kind of technique is that? Naruko scratched the back of her head with a playful grin. Feels like I didn't use any chakra at all. Her smile faded as her expression grew serious. Now it's my turn. Zabuza tried to recover control. Enough games. More clones began to rise from the water, but were quickly dispatched as Naruko surged forward with unexpected speed and precision. This girl. She's no ordinary Jinan. Zabuza silently admitted, backing away. He launched a new technique, Suten, Sworyu Udan no Jutsu. A massive water dragon burst forth, striking Naruko with force and sending her into a nearby tree. But before Zabuza could act again, Kakashi had escaped the prison and shielded her from further harm. She took that hit and is still standing. Unbelievable, he muttered, masking his surprise. Well done, Naruko, Kakashi commended with a smile, shifting his focus back to Zabuza. Let's finish this. Meanwhile, Sasuke stood observing the glowing violet barrier around him, intrigued. What is this? Since when does Naruko know barrier techniques? This thing's a little unsettling. Tazuna muttered. Are we sure it's safe? Sakura nodded. Naruko created it. I've never seen a technique like this in any of the textbooks. Those clones at the corners. They're maintaining the barrier. If one's disrupted, Sasuke's thought was cut short as he threw a kunai. One clone disappeared on contact, and so did the barrier. I thought so, he said with a slight smirk. Sorry, Naruko, but I don't need to be protected. Not far away, Naruko's expression darkened. What did you do, Sasuke? That barrier was meant to protect Tazuna. Forget that, Sasuke said coolly. What was that technique you used earlier? Now's not the time, Sasuke. Naruko replied, exasperated. Kakashi-sensei might need us. She crossed her arms. Geez. Wrecking my clone like that. She mentally noted the flaw in her technique. Next time I'll reinforce the clones inside the barrier, too. After a fierce exchange, Kakashi ultimately gained the upper hand. But before anyone could breathe easy, a masked figure appeared in a blur, retrieving Zabuza. A hunter nin? Kakashi observed. Unusual timing. Naruko appeared beside the masked individual and touched Zabuza's shoulder with a quiet chant. Kenpu, Baosekan, Oitsumaru no Jutsu. She turned to the masked shinobi. Did you neutralize him? The hunter nin nodded silently before vanishing into the mist with Zabuza in tow. Kakashi landed beside Naruko. That was odd. He just left. Before she could reply, Kakashi suddenly collapsed from chakra depletion. Naruko barely caught him. Dash. Naruko. Wake up. Wah? You're drooling. Ew. Sakura's voice rang in her ear. Naruko blinked to clear her vision. Sakura-chan? Come on. Kakashi-sensei's awake and wants to speak with us. Hurry, don't keep Sasuke-kun waiting. Naruko sat up groggily. Where am I again? Oh right. Tazuna's house. Dash. Later, Kakashi stood before Team 7. Good news and bad news, he announced. Good, we're going to train. A lot. Bad, I'm not sure. But Zabuza may still be active. Naruko's eyes widened. Really? She closed her eyes and activated her tracking technique, the Baosekan, Oitsumaru no Jutsu, a refined chakra sensor method that allowed her to locate any individual she had previously marked. She felt her chakra signature not far away. He's not gone. That hunter nin didn't neutralize him at all. Never mind, sensei. I was just being silly, she said quickly. Kakashi narrowed his eye, then addressed his students. Naruko and I need to talk in private. Sasuke, Sakura, give us a moment. But sensei, Sasuke began. It's personal, Kakashi stated firmly. You'll understand in time. Sasuke turned away, frustrated. Sakura followed, though curious. Dash. Once alone, Kakashi asked gently, Naruko. Where did you learn Fuinjutsu? And those other advanced techniques? Naruko hesitated, thinking back to the words of her mentor. There was a book. I found it. It was from the Whirlpool country. A book? Kakashi raised an eyebrow. It was called Kenpu. It had techniques about helping people, protecting teammates, and being strong for those you care about, she said with a confident smile. I want to be the best Hokage the village has ever seen. Kakashi watched her carefully. She's hiding something. But there's no ill intent. When we get back to the village, would you show me this book? He asked. Naruko looked away, playing up a pout. I would. But someone broke into my house while I was at school. Everything was gone. Kakashi felt a pang of sympathy. She's the Nine Tails vessel. And people have treated her unfairly for it. He nodded silently, choosing to trust her for now. Dash. New techniques, clean and refined. Kenpu, Rengukan, Kusui no Jutsu, Union Technique, Water Absorption. Kenpu, Baosekan, Oitsumaru no Jutsu, Tracking Touch. Kenpu, Butsukan, Tenku no Jutsu, Switching Touch. Kenpu, Tansaikon, Zaken no Jutsu, Assimilating Touch. Ninpa, Fuinjutsu, Shishiinjin, Four Violet Flames Encampment. Ninpa, Kinjutsu, Cage Bunshine no Jutsu, Shadow Clone. Weapons. Aigu Kaiki, Sword of Eternal Recurrence, Naruko's weapon, Gubatsu, Sword of Eternal Judgment. Amin Tatsuka, Sword of Eternal Dream. Ama no Murakumo no Tsurugi, Kusanagi Blade. That concludes today's content, everyone. If you found value in this, I kindly invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more enriching content. With best regards. 6 Path Weeb.